All right, guys. So I have been grinding up AAs nonstop, basically. And right now we are looking at 354 without even touching combat agility or combat stability. That's where we're at. We've got, let's see here, Ferocity maxed now, Fury of Magic, Ingenuity, Punishing Blade, which is going to do the double attack, Spellcasting Fury. We've got, I put one into extended notes to push my my spells out, maybe two. Flurry, I maxed. Knight's Advantage, we've got 3 more right there we can do at 7 apiece. We've got Soul Abrasion maxed. Speed of the Knight is 1 away from being maxed, which is a huge one, 29%. Theft of Life is about halfway there. Touch of the Cursed is maxed. But as you can see, there is a lot to do. I did go to Soul B to kind of test my waters on one of the giants there, just because I figured if I could just run through the giants, then possibly Nagafin wouldn't be that bad. Yeah, the giant pretty much destroyed me. So not ready yet. And I think a lot of that has to do with obviously level. And I think it has to do with a lot of the fact that we don't have any combat agility or stability. So we are going to be leaving Lower Guck today just because I've been here forever and my eyes are starting to bleed in this zone. And we are going to pop over to a Soul B, which is what we're going to do. Just to kind of run through it, show the names, show the spawn points, gather up some EXP, hopefully finish out Knight's Blade, and then start working on our combat agility and stability. I think that very shortly I'm going to start pumping regular EXP again. I really want to finish out combat agility and stability first. That way I can pump to level 51 and then go take a shot at Nagafin and Vox. With the addition of what I'm going to gain Bard-wise and SK-wise, just by leveling to 51, I do believe that we will be okay, or at least a lot better than we are now on the dragons. Oh, when I get in here, I got to show... Okay, so I did get 1 extra piece of gear off of the Sentinel, the Brigadine Tunic. So this was a good upgrade. I continue to pump my eggs, and I've gotten 1 enchanted basket and 1 legendary basket. So I've been replacing my light burlap saps with those. Other than that, though, nothing really huge. I did get the bear helmet, which I just put on because... Well, it's not a helmet, it's just a skin. So I put that on just for the fun of it, just because it's a bear. So we're going to a respawning here. There's several really good camps here in Soul B. You've got the Genie, which gives the, like, I think it's like best in slot boots for classic, tons of wisdom, tons of intelligence, and it looks like plate, which is really cool. And for those that are just wanting to get an upgrade on their Simp Strike items, the Noble drops this Staff of Writhing, which is the Simp 3 item, which before you go to Kunark, this is the best Simp item you can get. For Simp Strike, I don't know about healing, but... the Noble is up. So the Noble is an enchanter, so he can be a real big pain. Oh, he's actually got the staff. Hmm. I was here for a long time to get this staff. The fact that he's got it right now just rolling up is pretty crazy. Watch, it'll be legendary too, just to throw it in my face. No, it's just regular, but this will give you the Simp Strike whenever it's leveled up. So Simp Strike 3. Fortunately, okay, so it's worth 100. That's not bad. So this is where the noble spawns, right here. Pretty good map, actually. You just run in, run up, and then the noble will spawn right here. So they are tight corridors, but running around here, you'll have another kobold right here to the left. And then this thing will pop on you. You got another one right here to the right. If you continue this way, you go into where it's called Bugs and Bats. And this will actually lead you in the direction of heading towards Nagafen. We are not going to go that way right now. We're going to go this way so I can show you guys the other name spawns. So we've got a couple of kobolds here. The Solasec kobolds are going to be the higher level ones than just like the graders. So prioritize those if you see like a Solasec shaman or something, kobold shaman. These guys will run, so keep that in mind also on your tactics. Alright, so we got a Guardian here too. So the Guardians are going to be one step above the Solasec kobolds. So the Guardian comes from the ramp up to the King Room. Oh, and we're going to need to get Fearless too. We're going to need to get the Fear AAs. Because if not, we'll just get feared out of the dragon room anyways. Then I targeted his pet like a great. So yeah, we don't want to get feared out of the room either. So we're definitely going to have to get the Fearless AA, which is another thing that SK brings to the table, which is really cool because all the dragons, even in Kunark, fear. So being immune to that will be a huge bonus. So in this room, you'll have a Solasec champion that spawns. He has an opportunity to drop a weapon that actually does AoE proc if you're like a melee class. It's actually a really good weapon for melee. I think I have one. Maybe I don't. But yeah, you'll definitely want to pick one of those up. I don't know if it's warrior only or if it's melee only. I can't tell you. I don't remember, but doing AoE damage, dual wielding, especially with the increase in spell damage on this server, is really, really huge. So we'll go ahead and wait off the slow, and then this is a fake wall right here with a little tribal rat on it. So if you go through here, you'll come up to the Kobold Priest room. It's not really a room. It looks like that prison on Game of Thrones where they put Tyrion, you like roll off into the death, but yeah, the priest will spawn in here. He drops some carnal spalders, they're pretty bad. And the opportunity, he drops something else, I just don't remember what it is. But you got a couple of drops here as well. And then I actually have no idea what the king drops. But I do know that Targon the Rock is up here. He is for the monk epic, just like we fought that one dude in Lower Guck, the Raster of Guck. This guy drops the other book and gets you your robe of the Lost Circle, I believe it's called. I always fight Targon last over here just because like he has been higher level than the rest of them. But I don't know if the king like outweighs this dude or not. I haven't fought the king yet. Unless I did and just didn't realize it was him. If so, he's not very hard. I just killed him. So there's that. The king is up there. Now we'll head back and we'll go ahead and do where the bugs and bats are. So if you're heading back, you'll just turn left right before you get to the squisher. And there'll be a bat up there. He flies around. He won't aggro you though. But if you come into this room over here, you will start to get aggro from the bats. The bats do a really annoying stun. So just keep that in mind. If you're fighting down here, the stun is quite long and it can really put you in a jam, especially if you've got several creatures on you. Several bats are even worse because then they'll all be stunning you. And then heading this way, you've got a room to the right you can go, or a room to the left. Up here, you've got a bunch of these lava beetles and bugs, hence the name Bats and Bugs for the camp. And these guys are actually much more difficult than the kobolds in the zone. So this was typically going to be like a higher level camp coming in here. And I know that the spiders, yep, no, they do run. Never mind. I was going to say the spiders can run, but I don't know if the beetles do too. The knock spider is named, so we'll knock out the beetle first, and then we'll get the knock spider. I'll tell you what, the feeling of progression that you get on these, or on this solo self-found thing has been really fun. Also, knowing that in my near future here, ooh, what is that? 5 AC. Don't want to lose the strength. Don't want to. I may actually look into leveling that thing up though, because it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, the feeling of progression and knowing that, you know, Lady Nagafin or Lord Nagafin and Lady Vox very shortly could just be kicking the crap out of me, and knowing that I'm going to have to find a way to either gear up more or whatever I need to do. I do know that at level 46, I can go into the plains and start kind of whittling away there for any additional gear. I know they've got some pretty decent plains drops. I skipped them completely last playthrough because it was just so much better to just go to the bazaar and spend 500 plat on getting better gear. So this is going to be much funner for me to be able to actually have to kind of grind that stuff up. I guess technically, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I could level up to 46 or even 50 and then just start hitting the plains for AAE XP. I didn't think about that. I was kind of thinking I was just stuck in lower gut for eternity. But that actually might be a nice thing, because then we're getting AAE XP while we're hunting for... Okay, so this is an exit. I thought it might be an exit the way it was going. So we'll get back out of here and go back the other direction. But yeah, that way I'm farming up the plains gear on top of getting EXP, which I think it would be... Well, I mean, obviously, it's the better route to go. Look at this dude over here. Just laid out, completely covered up. Oh, jeez. Pretty bad luck. So now, all I can think about is getting level 46 and going to plains and seeing how that is. What was it called? Speed of the Night? Here it is. All right, so this is going to be your first main room here. On the way, on the way to Lord Nagafin, you're going to run into the lava duck crawlers. This has a chance to spawn something called a stone spider. Back in the day, it actually dropped a really good chest plate for Druid. I think it's actually Druid only, but it would look like brown plate mail, which was definitely like a Fashion Quest thing. But I've seen it on this server, leveled up to legendary. It's actually a really good chess piece if you were, you know, had Druid in your trio. I guess technically we could go to the hole too, because that's in Uridin, I believe. I would just have to find a way to get in the door. Alright, so now start pumping a few things into agility and stability. It's gonna feel miserable doing it one each time. So I'm probably gonna just do one full one at a time rather than have to do one each time. I know it's gonna take the same amount of time, it just won't feel like it. It's like taking a pee break on a long drive, like you feel like you're revitalized. The drive, it just gets better. So going up this ramp, you'll head all the way back here. And then across this bridge, head in here, and then you can go around the corner. There'll be a guy right here. I think he's for a quest. Rage Fire. Okay, so in respawning, it looks like they don't have any at all of the... Okay, so they don't have any of the giants up and respawning. Which is fine. We'll just go ahead and take the lava this way. We'll hop down. It'll be like a little lava waterfalls here. Onto these little stepping stones. Go ahead and fight the beetle real quick. Well, I was going to, but across the pathway here is where you're going to break into the Djinn, or the Genie, or Jinn, or whatever you want to call him. And I think he actually drops a really good ring for melee on top of the really good boots for caster. These guys are more difficult though, so just kind of, if you're coming down in this area, I think these are actually harder than the bats and the beetles, so. Snow rabbit. So now I have brown rabbit and snow rabbit. If anyone wants either one of those, you're welcome to them. Alright, so I definitely thought I was line of sighted on this guy. I didn't plan on getting two this time, but I guess I'll survive. Maybe. Hopefully. Oh boy. These guys hit very hard. I'm always at a loss on whether or not I want to cast or I want to just keep hitting, because I get a really good proc that heals me if I keep hitting. But if it doesn't proc, RNG kind of screws me, then and I don't use my spells, and I could die. So it's like I'm always locked in this internal battle. I'm hoping that Bard gets some form of haste later that like increases your proc rate. Oh my gosh, please don't. Okay, well, this is happening. But you come around here, you'll go up, around, and then that little corridor over there, you'll go into that area, and in this little cubby in the back, there'll be the genie. And if I remember correctly, he's like a hardcore wizard, huge damage wizard. So we've definitely got our magic resist going. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think leveling up would be fun. I need to do that. I need to level up at least to 46. I mean, obviously, I don't even know what the difference is from 46 and 50, but if we can get into the plains, I think that would increase our survivability a ton. Because I think even on the trash mobs in the plains, they drop the items that we would be looking for armor-wise for SK. Because I was just going to do the quests in Soul Row, but apparently Khazak Thul is like that zone is just a nightmare. And farming the stuff is a nightmare. So it may be easier for us just to level up and then go to the plains to get that armor instead. So there's 3 there. I wonder if I can do this without line of sight. What? No way. Let's see if it even worked, though. Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay, well, I had no idea I could do that. I just checked, and I've got one that does without line of sight, so I can do. I knew I had a lull. I just didn't know that I could do it like through the wall. So that will be incredibly helpful. And it says up to level 60. So that'll be huge. Huge. I guess I could look into the Plane of Sky quests too to see what they have. I bet you they've got some form of trinket or something there, Plane of Sky. I just don't know that that's soloable. Like, at least, you know, solo self-found. I have no idea. I'll have to try. I'm actually not even sure if, honestly, if the dragons are harder or not as hard as the plain stuff is. I have no idea. Well, I mean, we'll find out. We will find out. I joined the hero's journey late. They were already in the end of Kunark, almost into Velius. So I didn't really get a chance to go in there and experience everything, you know, right off the bat. So I feel like I kind of missed out on having some of the knowledge that I probably should have on stuff. Okay, so there's just 2 protectors. This is where the genie spawns, is right here. And again, I've bane of my existence sometimes feels like a wizard, because all they do is stun me and then blast me with these crazy spells. So I'm not 100% sure that we're going to be able to fight the djinn anyways. But if I could, I'd like to get that ring. I think it's like a massive HP ring. Maybe some strength would be nice, because I think I'm still sitting at like, yeah, 117. Makes me sad inside. Let's go ahead and get the EXP started. Ow. Wow. Okay, I was like, well, we're in trouble. Okay, we might still be in trouble. Hold on. I've never done that before. Oh boy. Couple of bats. So yeah, there's a hole there apparently. Don't fall in the hole. Golly. One thing to keep, I want to keep harvesting on this is the fact that, like, this is the funnest run through of EverQuest I've had in years and years and years and years. I feel like without knowing it, I was like inadvertently taking the fun away from my run throughs on EverQuest by buying gear and being just too overpowered for the area. It took out all of the threat, took out all of the danger, the feeling of like, well, just like right then, I got two bats in a classic era zone, and I was like, yeah, if I get the wrong stuns here and don't get my procs, this could be bad for me. I haven't felt like that in a long time, even on in era mobs, only because you don't have to, you know, the stuff is, you get so much better gear whenever you're just buying it. Large soiled bag. Dang. Well, that's pretty big. Holding items. What is it holding? Oh. I thought it was empty. Oh, that one's empty. Okay, we'll put that one in here. So yeah, now we got another 20 slot bag. That's crazy. I didn't even know that dropped a bag. But yeah, this has been incredibly fun. I definitely recommend this to anybody just wanting to you know, put some life back into EverQuest if you played it for years and years and years. You've got to try solo self-found. There were some people that, I feel like if you've already done solo self-found a couple of times, that they were saying like, do random classes, you know, do hardcore mode, do this, do that. And I do think that there's an element of fun that would be in the hardcore mode if you got to pick your classes, like knowing that you could roll into Nagafin with a trio that you know works well with synergy, to not just get killed by a random fear and just destroyed, would be fun. Restarting your character at that point would not be my idea of a great time. But I can definitely see the fun of hardcore at that point. But yeah, the random class, that might be something that I try on my second run through of this solo self-found, because that sounds fun. Because it seems like every class has something really, really cool to offer. Now, they don't all offer each other the greatness. That's why they say that some have better synergy than others. But I really haven't ran across any classes that are just like, man, that class is trash. Typically, there's going to be something that they're good at and something that they work really, really well with. And it also seems like every time I turn around, somebody's using a new trio that nobody else thought would work or something, you know, just through experimentation, and they're killing things that other people aren't able to even touch. So I would have never thought a magician and a druid combine with something else would be like way crazy good, but apparently with like spirit of reptile and all the other things that druid gets, matched up with obviously the huge abilities and tanking ability of the mage pet, they're able to take down, you know, some of, if not the hardest. Oh, my dog's having a puppy dream. Taking down the hardest content, you know, that the server has right now. So see, this is that fantastic stun. I kind of wish that they would have fixed that eventually to where you don't just like spin in a circle if you're turning. That's okay. So 36 is a hell level, and I think the hell levels are on here. Maybe they're not, but we should blast to 40 pretty quick. And then a couple extra levels, you know, we'll just run through Lower Guck again, doing a couple different crawls, or try out the hole, I guess. I know the hole has a two-hander that does an AoE hit called the Earth Shaker. I guess that would be fun if I could, you know, kill multiple things with it. Or Earthquake, I don't know, something like that. But it's a two-handed weapon, so obviously, if it is, I want it. But this is Solasec B in a nutshell, or Nagafin's Lair. Probably going to end up doing a video at some point over where Vox is. But I'll be honest, I'm going to have to either find some way to traverse that myself beforehand, or just look up a lot of guides, because I get lost. I can make it to Lady Vox, but as far as getting to other names or around that area, I suck at that zone. I get lost every single time I try to find anything else other than her. So I'm going to have to look that up for sure. Okay, so I'm seeing some pets, okay, we'll get the shaman down. See, just the advisor again. The advisor, it seems like that would be a named, because it's different, it's unique. It's not, it doesn't drop anything, or at least none of the times I've killed him has he dropped anything. But he is a caster, so I definitely recommend taking him down with the shamans first before you hit any of the melees. See, we're already half into level 36. Yeah, 35 was definitely a hell level for sure. They also, in Plane of Hate or Plane of Fear, have a shield that drops that you can just put in your inventory, and you can click it for Cure Disease, which will make these annoying slows go away. Because that is the absolute worst. Feels like they just slingshotted into me. We're hauling ass. So I don't see the king up or anything else over here, so it doesn't look like we're going to get anything or any other names at this point. But no shamans either. That's always a win. You know what else I'm going to look into? I just thought of it. You see, this is the great thing about playing solo self-found too. I actually have to like think about where I want to go to like maximize my gear and my EXP and things like that, to prepare for big battles like Vox and Agma and things. I was thinking about that underwater level in Fader. I gotta remember what it's called. It's in Dagner's Cauldron. There's like a bunch of seahorses in there and barracudas and things like that. I cannot remember the name of it. But yeah, that one was extremely hard back in the day. That was like you'd had to go in there with like a full group, or you just weren't surviving that. But I bet you we could do it without that here. I just don't know when I get Dead Man Floating, if I get it as the SK, because at that point we would be able to breathe underwater. Or I guess there's probably an AA for that, to be honest with you. Yep, lung capacity. 100%. So I would have to level this up then, or something, you know, either way. But yeah, that means it's definitely doable though. Because there's another boss in that zone, like a big fish squid thing at the end that you have to kill for like the wizard epic, I think, or something. So that would be another thing to test our metal on. But I'm really excited. Once we get the progression done with getting into Kunark, I get to start, you know, obviously leveling, you know, more AAs, more levels, but get to push into getting the Berserker Epic, which is going to be huge. Well, of course, and the SK Epic. Bard Epic is obviously on the list too. I've never done that one. So I don't know like the difficulty of it. I have done the Berserker Epic before, and it's got some challenging parts to it. I'm sure it will be solo, but it's not overly difficult. It's more like a lot of running around and like killing a couple of things than running around more. And I think it looks fantastic. An enormous axe. Oh, there's my phone. So I like the ones I just completely plow. Let me check my phone fast. But that is going to be it for me, guys. We're going to obviously get some more levels and kind of push from there. So hopefully next video we're breaking into the plains and kind of working on gearing up, getting ready for the inevitable butt kicking from Nagy and Vox. So thanks for watching, guys. You have a great day. Thanks.